Happy Thursday. Welcome to the D&H Solutions Lab. My name is Eric Smith, and I'm one of the HPE Business Development Managers here at D&H. Today, we're going to be covering HPE Smart Choice. The title of the webinar, Unlocking Business Potential with HPE Smart Choice, Performance, Security, and Flexibility. I'd like to go ahead and introduce some of the speakers I have with me today. Jim Stevens, who is the Director of North America Compute Channel Sales with HPE, and Mark Petrus, who is the HPE Business Development Manager out of D&H Canada. I'll touch on a couple of housekeeping items, one of which is please feel free to use the Q&A box on your screen. We're going to be taking questions throughout the webinar, and we'll try to stop and answer some questions, but if we can't get to them, we'll wait to the Q&A portion at the end. Also, there's going to be some polling questions throughout the webinar. We want to make this an interactive experience for everybody on the call, so please interact and answer those questions if you can. So now I'm going to turn it over to Jim, and he's going to lead us with the presentation. Jim?
Great. No, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And so thank you all very much for joining us today. This is a really unique program that HPE and D&H have together in terms of, for the first time in, and I've been I'm not going to give you my whole resume, but I've been selling HPE servers since 1997. And that's real HPE before the Compaq merger. But anyway, the whole point is that, traditionally HPE were always driving innovation. The great thing about representing, what I love about representing Hewlett Packard is that, we started as an engineering company. We've always been around innovation. Servers are our bread and butter. The ProLiant line, I hope you're all familiar with. It still, really has one of the best brand names in the market. And you look at HPE just on a high level. Right now, we are producing the most powerful supercomputers in the world. The number one most powerful supercomputer is called Frontier. And if you were looking at the next 5 powerful supercomputers in a row, if you were to combine all of them, of which 2 are also from HPE, they wouldn't even match the type of power that Frontier has. And I encourage you to look online and learn a little bit more about Frontier. It's a really powerful supercomputer. And the reason why I bring that up is because a lot of the engineering and a lot of the development that HPE has done across our compute portfolio eventually gets down where it is today to practical utilization, even for small, medium-sized businesses, for retail businesses, for for practical applications in healthcare, retail, banking, you name it. It all starts with the really powerful engineering, and then it gets leveraged right into the servers that people can be buying on a day in, day out basis. But what's interesting is that historically, HPE often would be a little bit more expensive than some others in the marketplace because of the engineering and the management that goes into our products, and a lot of the security that's built in as well into our products. And if you think about back in the days of COVID, there were some supply chain issues. Well, HPE fast forward to where we are today to this program with HPE Smart Choice, and we now have a very broad selection of our systems that are immediately priced up front to be very competitive and that are available to ship on the next day. One of the things, this is just a general NDA disclosure. I got to put this up there. I'll go past it, but just keep in mind that a lot of the information that we're sharing here today is really between HPE and all of you, our partners. But it's really important. I don't think there's going to be anything actually really majorly confidential. But here, let me make sure I've got the right. Okay. So you're going to see some questions pop up as well during the presentation, and please make this as interactive as possible. Answer those. If you've got any questions, feel free to put them in chat or wherever to make sure that I know we're going to have a Q&A opportunity. But covering Smart Choice again, when you look at what is Smart Choice, right? It's a very unique program that at HPE we started developing a year ago. We've had in the past different programs where we've tried to have items that were available that you could get at the lowest price that could be shipped out. This is a very mature, very developed. I think it's really a program that's pretty exciting because it doesn't require registrations. It doesn't require a lot of the escalations of pricing, some of the things that have delayed some of our sales process or even inhibited, some partners. It really is especially for opportunities where, your customers, they need a couple of servers, or they're looking to refresh servers, or they have some older servers, of which there are a lot of good value and good reasons right now. If your customers are running on servers that are anything older than Gen 8 and behind, you can now consolidate a lot of those servers for if they're on, let's say, Gen 8 systems, you can consolidate 11 Gen 8 systems down to one Gen 11 system, which is almost like the same thing of what virtualization did. When you think of when VMware first came out, it was all about reducing costs, consolidating environments, making things a lot more sustainable. And that's what we're able to do now, even with our servers. And the great thing about Smart Choice is you've got Gen 10, Gen 10 Plus, Gen 11, a lot of systems, again, that are available today, already pre-discounted to the lowest price you can get from HP, sitting in inventory with D&H and able to ship immediately. Like, this is a kind of a revolutionary, but yet really important, because this is exactly what a lot of our customers, this is what they're looking for when they're shopping around for servers. They need a couple servers or more. And if they like HPE, now you're able to offer them upfront, immediate, the best pricing, being able to ship and quote it very quickly. These are fully configured. So these are systems that have been purpose-built and there's right now, I think we've got 42 different SKUs that are available, and that's increasing on an ongoing basis as we put more and more systems into that inventory. And the great thing is you don't have to go through the whole process of, okay, do I need to register this deal? Do I need to do any escalations? You can quote it immediately, and that system is ready to ship. So it really is all about what's the easiest way to sell HPE, which in the past, it's always been, for those of us representing HPE, an area that has not been the easiest. We were never really known as the easiest company to work with compared to some others. This is a completely again, revolutionary for those of us who've been working with HP for a long time, an ability to have speed, focus, the SKUs are available, it ships immediately. And then once you have that, you also get, as partners, if there's a lot of incentives, a lot of back-end dollars that are possible. If you're familiar with some of our programs, that for systems that are sold, you can actually get some incentive from HP depending on where your relationship is within HP's partner program. So when you look at the portfolio, and I talked about, there's a lot of SKUs that are in the portfolio, including microservers, and these are probably our best sellers, just simple servers that can go out the door all the way up to the DL380s. One in particular that's being added to our Smart Choice portfolio is an AMD-based server called the DL145. And at HP, we do sell products. This is a really, what I would call, a killer product, because it's applicable for AI, it's applicable for virtualization, for reducing costs. And a lot of customers right now are kind of struggling with what they want to do in the hypervisor market. Easy to consolidate and reduce a lot of costs around that. The 145 is fantastic for anyone trying to just dip their toes into AI, which is no longer just for enterprise and large customers. We have a lot of companies in retail that are starting to leverage AI. You see there's for theft protection, there's a lot of ISVs that you can lay on top of a DL145, and it has ideal for pulling in all those data resources for inference, for generative AI. If you look at, we're deploying it a lot in areas where they want vision AI, where you connect it to scanners and to cameras with an ISV that we partner with, Iron Yun. Very cool. So the 145, again, the only reason I want to bring it up is that we're also bringing in some of what we think are some of the better, really more applicable systems into the Smart Choice portfolio. If you go to the next slide, this is obviously a pretty busy slide, and the whole point to really show here again is that we've got a lot of great systems. The vast majority of them are Intel based, and of course, Intel is one of our strongest partners. And you can kind of see here, it goes between rack, just every kind of different form factor. And again, all of these systems add inventory with D&H. These are great that if you look through, depending on what your customer requirements are, they're already pre-configured, pre-built, and ready, and again, ready to go. Okay, so then we talked about the new 145, the Gen 11 from AMD, which is a really exciting. And I gave you, then there's, if you looked in a couple of slides here, gave you a little overview of what the Gen 11 145 is. So now we'll get to the HPE Smart Choice delivery lead time, this slide right here, which, this is going to sound a little bit redundant, but one of the things that's also exciting about this program is that it's not just the system itself. If you want to have different options, not everybody wants just exactly what the system is that's available there. A lot of these systems are purpose built depending on what a customer's requirements are, and you can kind of go in and with HP and with D&H together determine what's probably the right system depending on what the customer's requirements are. But of course, if they need some configuration, they need some additional options that may not be in that exact system. The great thing about D&H, we're working very closely. They can swap them out and include those options. So all this can be sourced there, which is really exciting. And the program is really available for that. The lead times are much better than if you want to have a lot of custom configurations, which, for very large environments and for a whole lot of different servers where they really have some unique specifications. We obviously have CTO builds, which of course you can get through D&H as well. But the great thing is, the delivery, the lead time, when you start getting a lot more configuration, of course, that extends a lot of the lead time. It provides opportunities for, the customer to start looking at a lot of different options or different systems, different competitors, what have you. Again, what's really cool about the Smart Choice deal, the Smart Choice capabilities, that these systems are ready to ship on the next day. So if you go to the next slide. So and beyond just the product themselves, of course, with HPE, we have great services. And this is one of the things that's really important for our customers, is that these Smart Choice systems also come with the different levels of services, depending on what a customer would like. These are dedicated services, straight from the HPE Smart Choice purchase program. So when you look at what the requirements are for the customer, we want to make sure that the delivery, the setup, all the different types of services that they might require, whether it be just a basic service or an essential service, that they're available for them in 3 or 5 year options. Again, this is making it really simple for customers to be able to acquire systems when they need it, within their budgets of what they might have, without having to go through a lot of the haggle, a lot of the process. All of it's very laid out up front. These are different service options that they have, depending on what the requirements are. Makes it really easy for them to be able to have. If you go to the next slide, it has a little bit more detail, depending again on what the customers want, the amount of Smart Choice services that would be applicable for them, whether it be again basic or essential, the amount of time that they want to have. Pretty straightforward. The next slide is another important one. If you go to the HP Trade Up program, this is a really, a lot of times when we see these Smart Choice systems, it's ripping and replacing, where oftentimes it's like customers like, all right, I've got an older server, just like you might have an old laptop or what have you. It's not performing as well as they'd like. They want to start leveraging, new systems that are really kind of purpose built for cloud, that are purpose built for AI, or just kind of faster, better running, or consolidating, have better sustainability built into them, more security. There's obviously a whole lot of reasons why customers want to buy new systems. But one of the big questions is what would they do with some of the older systems that they have? Well, the great thing is within HPE, we've got a really great program where we can actually take some of those older systems. We can have a buyback, a trade-in program that can go towards the purchase of Smart Choice. And some of these systems, which is really great, it further reduces the cost. A lot of Smart Choice opportunities. Price, of course, they're very price sensitive, and so again, being able to also offer leveraging the HP trade-in program can have some really good opportunities for not only reducing the cost for our customers, but also qualifying, for eligible back-end dollars from HPE. And then if you go to the next slide, this further enhances, at HPE, what's unique about us is we've got our own financial arm. And so if there is a customer who doesn't have the money up front or whatever, they want to start leasing it, or they want to have a credit, or they want to do some financing, they don't have to go to a third party. All that can be done through HPE. And so again, it removes a lot of the barriers, again, trying to make it really simple for customers, depending if they want to leverage a CapEx or an OpEx, whatever kind of budgets they might have. These systems, if it's a microserver, some of these systems are as cheap as like $500. They can go down to pretty low to, high-end DL 380s. But again, upfront, there's a lot of upfront discount. And the great thing is that they can have a lot of financing if that is what's beneficial for the customer, depending on the deal size. The financing options that we have, it's great, and it doesn't require that they go into a third party, because HPE, we're actually our own bank, which is very unique among a lot of hardware vendors. So if we go to the next slide here, and I've kind of run through a lot of the deck, is really just a call to action, is to understand the SKUs that we have available. This is one of the fastest growing parts of our business. If you're familiar with HPE, there's like the build to order, what was called BTO systems that we've had for a while. And that business is starting to kind of slow down as a lot of customers want to have customized systems. Again, what's great about the Smart Choice is that we have so many different SKUs that, depending on what the customer requirements are, we've got systems that are available and oftentimes can support, exactly what the customer needs, without having to go through that whole process of having a specified configuration. Time kills all deals, and being able to have these available right up front and able to ship out the next day is again a very unique value proposition within HPE. The great thing about it, it's really not more complicated than that. It's not meant to be a lot more complicated. It's meant to be rather straightforward. One of the questions that comes up quite a bit is that these systems, they don't require registrations. And so, it's not for an opportunity if a customer is going to go shop out to like 15 different partners, if it's some big opportunity. Well, those systems may not be the right deal for Smart Choice. It really is for customers like, I'm looking for a server right now where you can be talking to your customers. They know that they need something. They don't want to go through that whole rigmarole, the whole process of trying to shop out to a lot of different people because they're getting the best price right up front. They're all in inventory at D&H. They're ready to go. And this really satisfies, of course, that's what a lot of customers are just looking for, where it's just, they need it today. Most customers, a lot of times, they're not even preparing for when they might need a server. If a server goes down or if it's not performing well, they need something, to really support their business. And again, these Smart Choice systems are ideal for it. So if you go to the last slide, it's just a recap of exactly what this program is. It's an easy way to do business with HPE, especially in the mid-market, SMB, a lot of customers. It's quoting in minutes. It's the best price right up front, already built right into it, and it ships the next day. So we really don't, there's really no need to make it more complicated than that. And this is where D&H, we've got such a great partnership, with D&H. They've got all these systems available and ready to go. So with that, I'm kind of done with the slide portion of the presentation. I'm glad we were able to get through the slides. I hope that transition wasn't too awkward. But I think now we're kind of ready for the next portion of this call, which is if there are any questions, any comments, any thoughts. please fire away.
And and Jim, we did have one question come in, and it is, where would a partner configure a smart choice system?
So the configure, it's that thing, the configuration is already done for you. You don't even do the configuration. So you'd go
Hmm.
in and within all the SKUs, these SKUs are already pre-configured. So they are, but what you can do, of course, is if there are certain options, if there's certain, this is where it's working with D&H, working with the HPE team that is supporting D&H to determine, all right, this is what my customer is looking for. They're looking for, if it's like, this is what their requirements are, then we can go in and identify, what is the appropriate system. But if you got a couple of, if you have some good understanding of what your customer is requiring, what they're trying to get after, or how much memory and all of that, you can just go right into the list of SKUs that are there and you start looking through the different pre-built configurations, and hopefully you'll find a system that supports exactly what your customer wants. But we're also here to help you try to figure out if you have any questions, if your customer has any questions of which system might be the most appropriate for a customer. Well, you've got a great set of resources at D&H and HPE to help you with that. But the great thing, but again, these systems aren't meant to do a lot of configurations. They're already pre-configured.
Perfect. Thank you, Jim. We're gonna let the audience stew a little bit more on some questions, and myself and my colleague Mark, we're gonna go through a quick couple of slides for everybody on the call. So again, everyone, my name's Eric Smith. I am one of the four field business development managers here at D&H. This slide, I know it's a little busy, but I just want everyone on the call to see that we have a pretty sizable team here to support your needs. So just remember, if anything today, for the US side, HPE at dnh.com, that is where our pricing specialists, our technical specialists, the business development team like myself sit in that inbox. Here's some of our contact information. Please reach out to us if you have any opportunities. And I'm going to turn this over to Mark, who's going to do a quick introduction for the Canada side.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. So again, my name is Mark Petrus, and I am the Business Development Manager for HPE here in Canada. One of my roles is to work with you, the partners, as a liaison between HPE, our D&H sales reps, and our HPE support team. On that Canadian team, as you can see here, we have Shane Sina, our sales specialist, and Philip Cherian, our technical support specialist. Shane has 8+ years experience as a partner account manager at HPE. Some of Shane's tasks are here to support you with your understanding of HPE programs, providing deal registrations, how to make money with programs like Engage and Grow, just to name a few. Philip, on the technical side, was also a former HPE employee for over 10 years. He holds many certifications specific to server and storage, can help you vet your configs, build configs from scratch, do deal registrations, and answer any technical questions you may have. The team can be reached through our Canadian box at hpecanada@dnh.com. So anything you're looking for specific around the Smart Choice, we're here to help as well around the configurations if you should have questions. So please reach out to us. We look forward to supporting your HPE business moving forward. Eric, I'll turn it back to you.
Awesome. And Marcio, I see your comment here. We're going to go ahead and send these slides out. It's going to be available within 24 hours, this presentation. And I'll make sure that the US slide, I'm sorry that didn't populate for you. But there are a couple of questions. I think I'm going to go ahead and take this one. How is D&H supporting partners with HPE for Smart Choice? So Jim touched on this a little bit, but utilize our engineering staff. Our engineers have been trained on the new Smart Choice offerings. We're here to help you configure, help you find what's best for that certain scenario that you guys are looking for, your end customers are looking for. We'll help you with the options, with the design and things of that nature. So, please lean on us as a resource, lean on your HPE contacts, if you have a rep, we're here to help spread the word of Smart Choice. We're here to get that server and the options to you as quick as possible, and that's really what was spoken today during the presentation.
And
So
Eric,
hopefully that helped.
if I can just
Sure.
add in as well from a sales perspective, inventory is always a key piece. If you know you have something coming up and you're looking for a few servers, we don't have them in stock yet. This product is readily available. We can get it in usually within less than a 2-week period. So please work with us. We're more than happy to bring the inventory in ahead of your rollout. And if we don't have the right product in stock, and that goes for both Canada and the US, let us know. We're more than happy to bring that inventory in on your behalf.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because we're consistently adding more inventory or more SKUs. But if there are SKUs if there's certain systems that you don't see in there that you think should be in there, let us know, and we're just adding it, right? So we're just throwing everything in there we think are appropriate for what customers' demands are. But there's so many different options, so many different configurations, and if there's anything that you say like, oh, my customer has got a certain requirement that I just don't find the Smart Choice, then let us know and we'll put it together and make sure that it's in the inventory and available for you.
Thanks, Jim. So another question here. We find the options, SSDs, hard drives, and memory are not always priced competitively. How do we escalate pricing for additional options?
That all goes through D&H. I think
Perfect. Well,
that's why it's wonderful that you're working with D&H. They're experts at ensuring that if it's a regular escalation process, I'm not kidding. It really is best to work through D&H. D&H then works with HPE to ensure that if you do need a specific option, if that option is not priced right, that we do escalate those, that we can get you the appropriate price for your customer if it's not included already in the Smart Choice build.
And Brad, I'll expand on that a little bit too. So the Smart Choice servers may not be eligible for deal reg discounts just because they're already so competitively priced, but the components can be. So we can run through an exercise. I do know that a lot of the components that do fit into these servers already have what's called SmartBook promotion pricing. But if we need to look into further discounts from there, our team, myself, the BDMs, we can look into trying to escalate pricing with HPE for that. And then another question here, does registration for D&H HPE Smart Choice make us official HPE partners simultaneously or via 2 applications? Some of our federal and state contracts require we be authorized HPE partners. Jason, I'm not sure what that question. Do you mind if we connect after this and I can help answer that? I just want to learn a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so just on the one aspect of it, when it comes to Smart Choice, there's no need for registration. Right. And so you can just go right through D&H and order it for your customer and it's shipped. There's no registration required, at least for the Smart Choice systems.
Perfect.
And registering as an HPE partner is always important. Then you get the programs like Engage and Grow and the rest. So it is a pretty simple process to do it online, and we can certainly guide you in the right direction there.
Yeah, it's not hard to become an HPE partner. we like to have as many partners. I mean, HPE, we're very channel oriented. So if you're not an HPE partner today, let's work together on becoming an HPE partner.
Perfect. Another question here, is HPE planning on adding the 7-year tech care support option to the Smart Choice program, or adding support levels including DMR and CDMR to the current 3 and 5-year tech care basic essentials Smart Choice support options?
So the quick answer right now would be that they wouldn't come automatically with Smart Choice. I mean, you can add different support levels, but those would probably be a separate agreement. So these are really intended to be all the services, all the requirements that you need on a basic or an essential level. But if somebody needs a 7-year, needs more robust type of services and support, at this time, that would be a separate agreement between the customer and HP, which again could all be delivered through D&H. But I can get back to if those are, again, that could be a suggestion if that's something that is really critical that you think your customers really need, and for these type of Smart Choice systems, then right now literally anything is possible to put into this program. And eventually, just to kind of give you a little bit of even a further vision of where this is going and where we're working with D&H is also to start developing a more robust even e-commerce capability. As a lot of millennials now are becoming procurement officers, or they're working at a lot of companies and doing the purchasing on their behalf. They're very used to doing everything online. That's another big part of where we're developing now a very robust e-commerce program where a lot of these systems will just be able to order directly online as well.
Here's one here. Is there a plan to include HPE storage or MSA in the Smart Choice program?
Yes, absolutely. There are some storage. There's an Alexa MP and MSA that are being added to Smart Choice as we speak right now. I don't know if there are. So yes, the short answer is absolutely. And I know we have 4 SKUs that are ready to be added into the Smart Choice program. If it isn't in there right now, if you go to the latest Smart Choice site, they're either in there right now, or they're going to be in there within the next literally days.
Yeah,
so absolutely.
I did hear the same thing.
Too. I'm sorry, Eric, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, we did hear that as well.
Yep.
That's coming here very soon. So, thank you for that. There is one here talking about instant on networking. I will make sure to connect with you after this about that question. Jim's here with compute, so we'll get you connected with somebody with the Action Partner Club. All right.
Yeah,
well,
I hope this was helpful. I mean, the whole point here is it's a program it's really not meant to be super complicated. I didn't think we would need to go through a bunch of slides and overcomplicate it, because that's the whole point. It should be simple. This is it's the easiest, fastest way to do business with HP. And again, it's, I think, it's taken a lot of work to put this in place. It's very unique. It's been the first time that I've ever been able to sell HP on price and availability at the same time, which is pretty exciting, because that's what, of course, a lot of our customers are really needing. They need it now. They want the right price right away up front so that they can just carry on with their business. And now we're able to deliver that.
Perfect.
All through D&H, of course.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you, Jim, for your time today. We really appreciate it on behalf of D&H and the partners on this call. We really appreciate your time today. And thank you, Mark, for being here as well. For everybody on the call, this will be available within 24 hours on our Solutions Lab page. And then if you have any questions, please reach out to me. My email is ersmith@dnh.com. And Mark, I'm apologize, I don't have that right here, but we're going to be sending out some follow-up emails with contact information for both the US and Canada. So for everyone here at D&H, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for the partnership, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. Look forward to working with you.
Cool.